Today we're going to explore some patterns in words. We're going to take a look at a pattern that happens when you have two consonants together and they make one sound. That's called a digraph. So to start us off in our work today, I have a nursery rhyme I'm going to share with you. This is a nursery rhyme which you might be familiar with from Mother Goose, and it's about an old woman who lived in a shoe. And if you know the story, she had so many kids, right? She did not even know how to handle having all those kids. And so what she did is she gave all the kids some broth. Broth is like a thin, sort of like a soup. Your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa might give you broth if you have a sore throat. So it's sort of a hot, salty soup. So she gave them all some broth, sent them all to bed, and kissed them and got on her with her day. So today, to start us off, we're going to take a look at There Was an Old Woman, and then we'll explore our pattern of two consonants going together and making one sound in this poem. All right. There was an old woman. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all sweetly and sent them to bed. So what do you think about that? They all got some broth, but they didn't get any bread to go with it. But what are you going to do if you live in a shoe, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at our pattern today of two consonants going together and making one sound. I'll read the poem to you one more time, and as I read this time, be on the lookout for words you think that follow that pattern of having two consonants together, but those consonants only make one sound. Ready? There was an old woman. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all sweetly and sent them to bed. All right. So where do you see this pattern of two consonants going together but you only hear one sound? We definitely see it here in shoe, don't we? We see that SH. So SH is an example of what we call a digraph. SH, two consonants that go together and they make one sound, right? They make that sh sound, like in shoe. Where else do we have that pattern in this word, in this poem? Right, we have it in the word she, right? Where else do you see it? Yeah, it's it, shoe and she. What other patterns do you see? What other digraphs do you see in our poem? You might be noticing that TH, right? TH is a digraph, two consonants together, and it makes that th sound, like there. So it can make a th sound like there or in the, and sometimes it can make a th sound like thumb or think. We'll explore that in just a minute. So here we have our TH together, making the sound. Do we have that TH digraph happening anywhere else in our nursery rhyme today? You might see it here in them, right? She gave them some broth. Oh, what are you noticing? Did you see it here in the middle of without? There it is right in the middle. So one cool thing about these patterns, these digraph patterns, is often they come at the beginnings of words, but some of them, like our SH, right, can come also at the ends of words or even in the middle of words, like in the word without. And you hear that little bit of a difference in the sound between the, there, and without. So that's just a little bit of a difference sometimes in the sound that TH makes when it's together. Where else do we see that TH, two consonants going together, we hear one sound? I think I heard you say you see it in broth. There's our broth. Good. Good. What about what's another pattern that you might be seeing? I'm going to read it one more time. Let's see if we can find any more digraphs, two consonants together that make one sound. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. Oh, did you guys see it? Did you see that WH, like in who? Yeah. So WH is an example of a digraph, right, that comes together, and often we don't hear the H sound in it, right, in the who. And we'll explore this pattern a bit in a minute too. Who lived in a shoe, she had so many children. Yep, there is our CH, making that ch sound like children. She didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all sweetly and sent them to bed. So digraphs happen a lot in our language, those two consonants that go together and we hear one sound. So let's take a few minutes today together to think about some words that we might know that have this pattern of two consonants going together and you hear one sound. So we'll make a chart here together. And these are some digraphs, some of this pattern that happens a lot, right? CH comes together a lot in our language to make that ch sound. So let's think together, what are some words that you know that you think might have that CH pattern? I'm thinking of the word chat, ch, at, right? When you chat, you talk with a friend. So chat is an example of a word that has that ch pattern in it. What about chomp, right? I bet those kids are gonna be so hungry in the morning because they didn't get any bread, they're gonna chomp down on their breakfast. So chomp is an example of a word that has that CH. Will you think with me for a minute? What other words can you think of that you think might have this pattern of these two consonants going together and they make one sound like ch? Maybe you're thinking of the word chair. Or maybe you enjoy going to church. Church is a good one because that's an example of a word that has our digraph at the beginning and at the end. Maybe you're thinking about the word rich. Right? Rich is at the end of that word. Right? I'm gonna eat some rich chocolate ice cream. That means it's gonna taste very thick and very sweet. Or maybe you feel rich if you have a lot of money saved up. Let's take a look at this TH, the th. Right? We know this in words like thumb, thumb. You hear that th sound? So even though these are two consonants together, right, they make this sort of whole new sound, right? Like th as in thumb or ch as in chat, right? That's one of the things that happens with this pattern is the two consonants go together and sometimes they can make a totally different sound like thumb or maybe think. Or maybe we have it at the end of a word like in the word with or bath. Right, the little old woman might have to give a bath to all her children. That's gonna be tough in a shoe, right? What about our SH? Shh. You might know this in words like shop, right? We saw it in shoe. What else, where else might you know this word, right? You might hear it at the end of a word, like in the word dish, right? Or wash. Maybe the little old woman didn't give her kids any bread because she didn't want to have to wash the dishes. Okay. So SH says sh, right? Like in shop, shoe, dish, wash. Let's take a look at this one. This one's pretty neat. CK together. So in CK together, we just hear the sound k, right? So that makes a sound we already know, right? We already know that k sound. So do you see how in some of these patterns, right, like the ch, the th, or the sh, the consonants come together and they make a different sound? In some of these patterns, the consonants come together to make a sound that we know, like we know k, but we just hear it once, right? We don't say k, k, right? We just say k. So let's think of some words that we know that might have this k pattern in it. Like we might know the word clock, right? There's our CK and it makes that k sound. Or maybe you know it in the word kick. I like to play kickball with my friends. Or maybe you know it in the word back. I like to play in my backyard. Or maybe duck, right? I had to duck when the ball came my way. Or the duck like the animal. I saw the duck swimming in the lake. You might also see this pattern in the middle of a word, like in the word necklace. Right? You see right there in the middle of the word there? Necklace. We saw that happen with the TH, didn't we, and without. So sometimes this pattern comes in the middle of words too. So this CK pattern is often found at the ends of words and sometimes in the middle. I'll give you a little hint. We don't really see it very often in the beginnings of words. CK is almost always at the end of the word or in the middle of the word, and it says k, right? And let's explore this WH, w sound. Again, this is a little bit like that k, isn't it? In that it makes a sound we already know, right? But we don't hear both letters, we just hear that w. So we might know this pattern from the word wheel. We might know this pattern from the word whale. Right? I would love to go out to the sea and see a big whale. How amazing would that be? You might know it from the word white, right? Maybe one of your favorite colors is white because you like the color white like the snow. So one of the things you can do as a reader is you can use what you know about how the language works. And one thing you know now is that sometimes we have two consonants that go together, but they just make one sound. We see that in ch like chat, or th like thumb, sh like shop, k like clock, and w like wheel. Thanks for learning with me today.